For now, please allow me to introduce our next resource speaker. So our next resource speaker is a Filipino sociologist whose work focuses on the intersections of environment, society, and development. She's an environmental sociologist and the founding president and executive director of Green Research Environmental Research Group Incorporated. For over 3 decades, she has been engaged in environmental research, social development, and sociological inquiry in the Philippines. She earned her bachelor's degree in social science and master's degree in sociology from Ateneo de Manila University and pursued doctoral studies in sociology at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She is also currently involved in a collaborative sociological research project with Laudato Si that examines environmental realities and social issues in the Philippine context. And this afternoon, she will be sharing a sociological perspective on the current state of our environment through representation, sociological snapshots, deepening environmental ruptures in the Philippines. Once again, please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Patria Gwen M.L. Borsena. Nakakalikasang araw po, Ms. Gwen. The floor is yours po.
I'll greet muna, kaya ako mag-ano. Una, Happy World Environment Month to all. And as we know, unique yung World Environment Month ngayon. Bakit? Kasi ngayon, a special year of St. Francis of Assisi. So there, thank you for allowing me to share today. Chose this topic, no? Deepening environmental ruptures, meaning crisis, gaps, pero ruptures, it's medyo mas malalim. Ibig sabihin, medyo malala. Okay? Yon. So, I think, yun yung aking assertion, na I think the ruptures have worsened, especially during the previous Duterte regime and the present Marcos administration. And I think the flawed neoliberal economic development paradigm even became dominant. Some of the previous gains of the Philippine environment social movement have been severely undermined or are seriously threatened to be reversed. Okay, example, we were already able to back Kaliwa Dam. Diba? Laiban Dam pa nga nun, ngayon naging Kaliwa Dam for many years. Yung nuclear power plant, since high school pa lang si Senator Risa fighting it, na-block natin, diba? When President Cory took over. And then, parang a few years, we were able to block it under Senator Noy. We got it out of the PDP. Yung mining, we had gains. Ayoko na i-review. Meron tayong gains under President Noy. Anong ginawa nila Duterte, di ba? Etc. So anyway, that's it. So what I wanted to do now, since I mentioned that paradigm, I wanted to reiterate that again. To explain that again. Kasi I think that's important that we go back to our critique of it. And maybe, yun na, part of the challenge is to make a more stronger, more critical critique about it. So, tama-tama, we're talking about the anniversary of being convergent. So, let me give a throwback. So, instead of me reinventing my write-ups about the neoliberal framework, it's already in our SONA. So, during that SONA, the first earlier SONAs, Green Research was very active with Tita Esther Pacheco and Tita Esther Perez de Tagle. So, I think the summary for the 209 SONA, I was able to do it. And to have a write-up of it, I still have the write-up. So ito, ang critique natin to, the worsening environmental problems such as forest degradation, biodiversity loss, lack of political will, and effective action related to the environment can be largely explained by the dominance of the flawed framework, which is manifested in the different branches of government. We did kasi at that time, we did executive, legislative, and judiciary. Thus, the neoliberal framework or paradigm has been detrimental in our pursuit of sustainable development. According to this framework, economic gains are attained through the free market doctrine and free trade. Okay? So may tatlong tenets yung neoliberal framework. Trade liberalization, privatization, and deregulation. Yung liberalization, yung bubuksan mo yung merkado, katulad yun sa mining, ililiberalize mo, yon. Lulusen up mo yung mga trade, naalala niyo yung JPEPA, ng Japan-Philippine Economic Agreement. So, yung second, yung privatization. Example, yung recently lang, di ba yung airport, binigay na sa iba na yung control, di ba? Ng airport natin, iba, ganyan. Deregulation meaning it's abolishing government rules and regulations that hamper market entry and constrain market forces or restrict competition. Alam nyo, by reading about this, I think itong deregulation o yung removing hampers or obstacles to business, yan yung isang malaking nagawa, I think, under the Duterte and Marcos regime. So there. So yan yung three tenets which enable the economic system to compete in the global market economy. However, our increasing economic globalization has been dominated by transnational corporations. Okay, so influenced by this neoliberal model, the government also advocates for a strong and heavy reliance on heavy and sustained infusion of foreign capital investment that would spur national development. It asserts the important foreign resources, foreign companies, foreign involvement. Ayan, marami actually under President Noy. Medyo nalusin. Hindi sila inallowed to own land, but there were certain laws that allowed them leverage or more access to our resources. Ganyan. So there. And then, so ito yung bias nila for political will for the TNCs. Nakitang-kita rin ngayon sa mga issues natin ngayon. Kahit 209 to lumala. Kaya ako pinapakita sa inyo to. Paano lumala? Example, yung waste to energy. Nung nandun kami sa Senate at saka sa House of Representatives, sinasabi na nila yung ibang countries, magaling daw sa ganito, ganyan-ganyan. Waste to energy, pati nuclear, di ba? And then the mining. Ayan, di ba? Monsanto, transnational din yan, yung kalaban natin sa genetically modified organisms, GMO, hindi na nga natin masyado napapag-usapan yung GMO. So it's widely that the country's ruling political elite has a connivance. I think ito, challenge take note of this line. And look at the flood scandals, but look at, para kulang pa yung sa environment. I repeat, it is widely known that the country's ruling political elite has a connivance with the few economic elites and the foreign investors. So some studies and reports have already documented the reality of corruption in the environment sector. Unfortunately, there is an absence of a strong state that can control or that can police the private sector. Okay, so this type of political system has concentrated control of natural resources in the hands of the few, the oligarchs, at the expense of the economically disadvantaged, and has put a premium on short-term exploitation of resources. Sino yung oligarch ngayon nakalaban ng marami na environmentalists sa maraming projects? Sino makakahula? Okay? Mahulaan nyo ba kung sino? Sige, tingnan natin yung mga ilang controversial projects later. Yung 209, it was the GMA regime. So at that time, malakas na talaga yung bias for transnationals. Okay? Tapos dito sa ating SONA, pinakita natin yung iba-ibang environment projects na controversial or issues, ay makikita natin talaga yun. Lahat yun dahil sa neoliberal framework. Tayo yon, ang green convergence ay sa tingin ko, although a few writers might have written about it before I did or before Green Convergence exposed it, as a network, we were the first one who really called it out. Now, all these environmental issues, they are all connected because of the flawed framework. And at that time, sinusulong nila yung Chacha. Pero ngayon, ang dami na nilang sinulong. Hindi ko na i-discuss at ng mga, I don't know if Rodney will tackle the other laws na pinagagawa nila para ma-push ang mining, may bago ning law silang ginawa about the mining recently. And then, sa nuclear, and then, yung waste to energy, yan, binablock pa natin ngayon. Pero alam niyo, anong gusto nilang gawin? I don't know if may eco waste dito. Yung gain natin for the Ecological Solid Waste and the Clean Air Act, gusto nila yung undermine at palitan para lang maipasok yung waste to energy. Ganun sila I will use the term, devious, and tawag dito, masyadong garapal na yung kanilang garapal na talaga yung pagsusulong nila, na pati yung mga tamang batas na proud tayo sa environmental laws at kinikilala tayo sa ibang bansa, pati yun gusto nilang sirain para lang maisulong nila yung kanilang mga projects na mali naman, na malaki lang yung makikita ng ilang economic elites at malamang kikita rin yung ibang mga tao sa gobyerno, di ba? So the dominance of the neoliberal development framework is a major hindrance for the realizations of the ideals of Philippine Agenda PA21, Long-Term Development Plan, pero later naging tinatawag na nating SDGs ngayon, di ba? Social Development Goals. Okay, next. So yan yung throwback. Pero siguro ngayon yung mahalagang sasagutin ko na tanong na tignan nyo kung sasang-ayon kayo or gusto nyong dagdagan. Sa tingin ko yun yung gusto kong i-contribute, no? At sana ma-sharper pa yung pag-intindi natin. Ano, bakit nagkaganito? Ang laki na nung gains natin, modesty aside nung kay Pinoy, Dr. Nina and I and Pastor Delbert, we were able to get the environment on top of the framework. Na it was not just parang hindi lang siya principle. It became a chapter in the PDP and it became a major goal in the general framework. Climate resiliency. Ayan. Tapos, yun. And then, because nga, we were able to get the environment agenda as one of the key points in the social contract of then Senator Noy. And then he won. So, based on that contract, yan ang basis ng PDP. And then, hindi lang yun. Hindi kami tumigil doon. Talagang really helped in the Philippine Development Plan. Okay? Nabantayan namin yon. Pero nung the two regimes na nga, medyo weak na yung ating participation doon dahil pandemic, di ba? When the last PDP was made, it was during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I only attended, I think, maybe one online or two, and that's it. So, hindi na natin talaga na-review, na bantayan, whatever. Eto pa, so, okay, sa tingin ko, ironically, it's the whole of government approach used in pushing the controversial economic projects detrimental to the environment. I heard Garin saying that. I just can't remember whether it was nuclear energy or waste to energy, pero parang proud siya na, nagmi-meeting kami mga different agencies and then we agreed on this and ganyan. Ayun na nga, kaya tayo nagkaganyan. Okay? Next, yun nga, I mentioned the Philippine Development Plan, especially the last one, we were not able to influence it, and they were able to get in the PDP, the words nuclear energy, like that, okay? And then under the Duterte, they already issued nuclear related policies. Hindi rin natin na-block yon. Tapos yung legislation sa nuclear, hindi rin natin na-block. Hindi ko nga alam na nagkaganon na. So, meron din, tapos ang ironically rin, the old laws, like the forestry law for the tree cutting recently, ginagamit pa ng DNR or ng yan nga, the controversial San Miguel Corporation. So, there. Tapos yung greenwashing by some business organizations, I will not focus on that now. Maybe another time we can discuss that more. And then the strengthening of the oligarchy's control of some big-ticket economic projects. It is good that Carmen already mentioned SALEX. Okay, tama yon. Yung kasi nga siguro, I think tumama yan kay Carmen kasi nasaktan siya sa pagputol ng mga puno, di ba? That it's a killing of the trees. And the killing of the trees, we already fought that in Father Robert Reyes and others, and the Baguio, sino yung mga Baguio people and experts and from Cebu, etc. Yun. So ngayon, lumalala na naman talaga. Actually, pati yung Laibanda, marami ring threatened na trees doon. In Palawan, the mining recently, naging issue yon to the point that the bishop already made a statement against it. So, the continued corruption related to the environment and natural resources. Ito yung alam naman natin meron. Pero, hindi pa siya kasing na-expose the way the flood-related scandals, di ba? I don't know. Tingnan nyo, na kulang pa ba o sapat na? Okay, sa tingin ko kasi quote-unquote there's a mafia in DNR. Meaning, parang there are people really in DNR who embrace this flawed framework. And they are close to the mining sector. And I am very sure that some of them help or connive with the legislators to get Gina Lopez out. Yan. And some of our bills, they are also blocking the forest bills, ganyan. Mali daw yung bill namin, ganyan-ganyan. Yung forest resources bill natin. Alam ko yun kasi nakakaharap namin sila sa Congress at sa Senate. Okay, next. Mhm. Yan. Ito na pala yung whole of government approach. Sorry, ayan yung definition niya. Ability of government agencies to work together. And then, that definition I got, if you want to check, it's in the DSWD website. And then, I think, I'm not sure lang if DSWD quoted it directly from the ease of doing business or parang they just paraphrase it. Kasi something, ayan, pero tingnan nyo tong law na to. Yan. Next. Ito. Ito yung isang example ng whole of government approach. Look at DOST. I shared this to the Green Convergence group chat. On Independence Day, this is very recent, On Independence Day, tingnan nyo yung pag-pivot nila ng narrative. Creative pivot na malicious, na mali. At sabihin ba naman nila, Independence Day, alam nyo ba naman ang sabihin nila sa Facebook post nila, yan ang image nila. Palayain mo ang sarili mo sa takot. Pinapatamaan tayo dahil parang, di ba, we're exposing that the nuclear power plants are dangerous. Okay? Ayan daw, nuclear is safe. Tingnan nyo naman, kung ako sasagot dito, sasabihin ko, palayain natin sarili natin doon sa flawed framework at sa mga corrupt officials at sa mga traditional politicians na walang inisip kung hindi kanilang interest at the expense of the poor and expense of the environment. They do not really hear the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. Dapat lumaya tayo sa kanila. Ang bayan dapat lumaya sa kanila. Nabuti na lang nakita ko, kanina binalikan ko to. Uy, nakita ko sumugot pala si Dr. Nina. Tingnan nyo naman. Ando ba si ma'am? Ma'am, nandyan ka? Wala. Ito sinagot ni ma'am, I will not discuss it anymore, pero tingnan nyo. Tingnan nyo si ma'am, at her age, ako tutuusin, dapat it's the youth. Tulungan tayo ng mga youth to address the social media falsehood and mga fake news. Tapos there was one time yung fake news nila, I don't know if Ecoways is here. Sinabi ba naman ng DOE, ang mga CSO daw nag-support sa waste to energy? Ganun sila ka sinungaling minsan. Okay? Sinagot nga yun ng Ecoways na mali yun. Okay, hindi ko na lang nilagay dito. Okay? Kita niyo yung mga strategies na pinagagawa nila. Next, ito yung Parex. Bishop Milo, the Bishop of Pasig, already came up with a statement against it. I will not elaborate this on this topic, but point is, medyo kulang pa yung discussion natin dito. And moving forward, medyo kulang din ng support yung civil society dito meron silang coalition. It's called Ilog Pasiglahin. Pero the church attends some of their events, but they're not even in the core group. So I'm recommending that the church ecology ministry be part of the core group. I'm talking about the Diocese of Pasig, that their Ministry of Ecology, that they're very active. I have met them already, sila Father Mel and his lay coordinator, Grace, who is very too much into Laudato Si. So that they become active in the core group, in the making that coalition a force to reckon with. Okay? And then maybe to talk to Mayor Vico. So next, ang sinasabi din dito, more roads, more carbon emission. Okay? Magko-commercial lang ako. Example, here in our community here, they are planning, you know what? A multi-level parking. This is a low-cost housing at the foothills of the Ateneo. Syempre, during the General Assembly, I already voiced out my dissent. Although they're just talking about it. It's a plan ba naman? Sabi ko, nakakahiya yun. Dahil lang, ibig sabihin, we're contributing, instead of solving climate change, we're even adding to it by encouraging more cars. Okay, next. Ito, ang comment ng ilang CSOs about Parex, I will read a few lines. Criticize the EIS, the Environmental Impact Statement, for its baseless and false claim that expressways would reduce carbon emissions, especially considering the potential externality that is traffic congestion as a manifestation of induced demand arising from more car owners and encourage them to use their cars. So arising from more car owners encouraged to use their cars. So there. So this is ko pala yung aking source. This is parang a publication made by the JJXC, kay Father Jack Carroll's NGO. It used to be called Institute of Church and Social Issues. So it's based in Ateneo. So there. So I can share that materials with you. Okay, later. Next. O, ito na, yung controversial na bagong controversy. Kaso nung nangyari kasi to, we had a family crisis, so I was not able to really parang participate in the mobilizations against it. And actually, our president, Father Robert Reyes, already told me na, see if we can make a statement. And we're planning also to, matagal na yun medyo kasi naglaylo kami, that we might resurrect the National Coalition to Save the Trees. So there. So, yan. And then if I may quote an anthropologist professor, I wasn't able to get his permission if I can parang identify him. So this is his message to me. He wanted to talk to me kasi he knows that I'm active now with the movement. So therefore, yan ang comment niya. He's really very, very worried. Kasi it will destroy the neighborhoods and drive away business. The viaduct enters Pedro Hill and turns across Leon Ginto to eventually connect with the Skyway. It will darken the streets, emit pollution, create noise at night and day. Who will want to live by it? LRT1 was indeed needed, but it was elevated. It killed Avenida Rizal. This one is worse. Being an automotive freeway, it will kill part of Manila. So some of the historical landmarks will be below it. Diba? Parang ang weird. And ang culprit dito, San Miguel Corporation. Itama nyo ko, ang Parex, San Miguel din ba? Yung Bulacan Airport, sila din ba? And pati ata yung ilang issue sa Palawan, nandun din sila. So, yan yung example ng strengthening of oligarchy. So, nakakalungkot. At nakakainis, di ba? So, yan. Tapos, this is a poster that we made. This is a throwback poster, although we still have copies of this, I think. This is, yan, that poster that we made about the tree cutting issues in Baguio, Pangasinan, Cebu. So, yan. If you will remember it, kami nila Tita Esther, si Dr. Nina, si Father Robert, Attorney Pe Benito, and a few others went to Pangasinan not knowing who were the enemies. We just wanted to tie ribbons to the trees and save them. And later we filed the case. And later we found out our enemy is Mark Huangco. He is the one parang pushing for the tree cuttings. Ayan, of those, We lost in a way kasi the judge didn't give the TEPO, didn't give the temporary, parang the case was parang inabot ng 3 taon, tapos at the end, binigay ng DNR yung permit, nung tail end ni President Aquino. So, ina-stall namin, pero at the end, ayaw kung anong hanky-panking pinag-usapan ng legislators and DNR and Mark Huangco, they gave the permits. So, naiyak talaga ako doon. After nun, siguro parang medyo naglaylo tuloy yung, parang naano talaga ako noon, parang nanghinayang talaga ako. Pero na-karma sila, natalo si Mark Huangco and his wife after that issue. And then, however, I don't know what Mark Huangco did. He transferred to another municipality and he won again. And then now, what he did in Congress? Yan, nag-create pala, hindi nyo alam, meron palang committee ang House of Representatives on nuclear at napasa pa nila yung bill. Ay, nako. So, yan ang mga kalaban natin na I think we asked it on 2 major transition points or major events. So, in 2005, ayan, yan din yung birth ng aming NGO. Nauna yung aming NGO, at the time it was called Alta Research. We had a forum. I think this was the first gathering of civil societies at tapos focus on the environment. Ang tawag doon, Kalasag Kalikasan ay Sagipin. Pero it took some time Dapat magkakaroon ng coordinating committee dito. Hindi siya natuloy. Buti na lang, a few years later, Dr. Nina talked with me and then later, she decided, sige, because of the JPEPA issue, let's have a meeting at the Environmental Studies Institute in Miriam. So, yun na yung birth nung Green Convergence. Yung where do we go from here, parang it just struck me na pareho pa rin yung i-recommend ko, although there might be some more detailed recommendations, pero ito yung sagot natin nun. Promotion of an alternative framework in natural resources use which cuts across all environmental issues and thematic groups. So, yan yung ating pinagkasunduan nun at nakita natin na dapat gawin. Tapos, sinabi rin natin na support natin yung prosecution by building capacities of civil society protect their rights. Medyo nag-improve naman tayo dito. Marami na rin mga na-file na case and I think at that time, wala pa environmental rights of procedure. So malaking gain natin yon. Aha. Tapos, ni-recommend natin dito na magkaroon tayo ng more knowledge and information sharing. Medyo nagawa din natin yan, pero lately, sa tingin ko kulang. Nung early days sa Green Convergence, sa tingin ko, yes. Pero over the last few years, ang dami na rin kasing ibang bagong networks eh. So, medyo pwede pa tayo mag-improve dyan. And in fact, we were already beginning to talk about it last November. Diba, Tessa? Nag-brainstorming tayo. Tapos sabi natin, Dave, andiyan ka ba? Magkakaroon tayo ng another effort to gather the civil society groups together, especially the Greens, to assess and to talk and to plan. Okay, and then, eto na, hindi ko naanhin yan. Hindi na nga nag-work yung kalasag. So later, ang nangyari, it was the Green Convergence. Stop share. Okay. So I think what I would recommend, again, I repeat, we should continue and even have a stronger critique of the development framework in various levels at the national, regional. PMPI is already, for example, a member of the NEDA Regional Council. We can do that by, ang problema lang kasi NEDA already became a department. So, dapat i-assess din natin yun. Ang hirap na, wala na ata yung Philippine, Vicky, di ba? Wala na siguro yung Philippine Council for Sustainable Development. May konti pa kayong voice nun. So, parang kailangan talaga natin mag-assess at tignan paano pa natin ma-influence yung present and yung upcoming administration. And then yung legislations, ang dami natin kailangan i-block. Yung iba napasa nila, hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin na, hindi alam ko rin, pero parang ang hirap. Halimbawa, yung nuclear, meron ng law, pero sa bagay, ang attack naman natin doon towards the locals, di ba? We need to block it at the local levels. For example, saang areas sila gusto mag-create ng nuclear? We heard something in Pangasinan, nag-start na yung church doon, and a few people, advocates there to block it. Pero hindi natin alam. Tapos, so the paradigm, second, yun nga, greater synergy in the environment movement. Tessa, baka you can tell us what happened. Di ba we had a letter, we gave it to the CBCP. We were supposed to have a meeting. Now what? What happened? And then third, there was this, parang bigla tayong inunahan ang weird, di ba? We were talking November and then, I already mentioned this naman to the Caritas Philippines former staff, Jing, who facilitated our meeting then. Sabi ko, how come? What happened? And we were planning to gather the Greens, but then Bishop Cherry called for Hayuma, the 3-day event. But we still went there. However, we were surprised, and not only I, but I think some groups, okay, already also mentioned, but kasama labor. Sa tingin ko, okay lang na mag-tactical alliance sa labor minsan, but we need to strengthen our own Philippine social environment muna. Thank you for being part of the journey, for allowing Green Research to be part of different initiatives and networks. We remember Father Pete, Save Sierra Madre Network. We also have formed it. The Magkaisa Junk Jepepa. What else? The Stop Live and Dam Coalition. Sorry lang. Again, disclosure and the public apology. During the last few years, especially in the pandemic, we were not able to be very active kasi nga pandemic. Second, I also had to undergo certain operations. So, and then I was also doing very intensive research as a sociologist. So medyo, although I was involved, parang medyo lie-low na rin. So there. So what else? Yung National Coalition to Save the Trees, ayan, may culpa kami ni Father Robert. Hindi namin masyado nang natutukan. What else? So, ayun lang, challenge ko, sana other organizations and network can also be reflexive. Saan tayo nagkulang? Saan tayo mahina? Saan tayo pwedeng mag-improve? Hindi naman dahil nagsisisihan tayo, pero hanggat hindi natin natutukoy kung saan tayo nagkulang at ano pa yung pwedeng gawin, paano tayo mananalo? So, there, I said, continue to let us all collectively and creatively listen to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. And love.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Gwen. You've discussed actually yung ating environmental ruptures, by tracing the development path of the Philippines, the effect of the neoliberal economic development paradigm that changed some of our gains and good laws. You've discussed some worrisome developments in our country, and there is a need, and that's your call, no? And I think this is what we should work on: stronger involvement of the NGOs and environmentalists and people in the development, in the Philippine development plans of our government. So again, thank you, Gwen, for the insightful discussion and for helping us better understand environmental realities through a sociological lens.